Hi there, I'm Holly McDonald with the OC Pod, where we discuss all things concerning the businesses, lifestyle, and activities that make our area such a great place to live. Today I have Janiece with me of Velene Home Design. Did I do it right? Design Home.
Velene Design House.
Oh, okay. I'll just start it over.
Velene Design House.
Well, now you know how it's going to start.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Hi there, I'm Holly McDonald with the OC Pod, where we discuss all things concerning the lifestyle, businesses, and activities that make our area such a great place to live. Today, I'm with Janiece of Velene Design House, and I'm so excited to have this designer among us, and she's going to be giving us some great information. So, Janiece, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
So, let's talk a little bit about you and your philosophy, design-wise. So, what sort of design are you most catering to in your business? Yeah.
So we are known more for transitional design. So that's what clients come to us for. It's where we're mixing, maybe it's a Spanish style or a mid-century modern, and we're kind of, bridging that with traditional design. So even, for example, if we're working with a transitional, let's say we're doing a kitchen and it's a Spanish style kitchen, we're likely mixing that with more of like modern, contemporary, like clean line elements. So it's not truly 100%, historical Spanish style home. Yeah. It kind of just gives it a little bit more of a timeless feel. And I mean, it just caters to a different clientele, and it's just something that's a little fun and I think timeless.
Yeah, I think when you talk about like the Spanish design, like it's so specific, obviously. Mm-hmm. And so if you're able to incorporate some of the styles and trends that people want today and appreciate, you can really just bring it into the 21st century.
Oh yeah, 100%. And so we do that. We have, if you look at our portfolio, we have, like I said, a French country kitchen. We have a mid-century modern home. We have a Spanish style. I mean, we can kind of go in different directions. So
that's amazing. Yeah, your portfolio is awesome. Of course, I've seen it on Instagram. So it looks so good.
Thank you.
And I know that, so you were recently a different company, like you rebranded.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about like who you were and why you transitioned. How did that all come about?
Well, that was me just trying to evolve, because I started this company in 2021 and it was kind of like, let's just go. I feel like you can easily get analysis paralysis. And I was just like, I just want to start this company. And I landed with Home Design Studio and then didn't trademark it at the time. Lesson learned. But I also feel like it was also just, I'm looking at the silver lining and maybe it was meant to be. So the way this all worked out is I wanted to revamp our website.
Okay.
And then the color palette and really get clear on who we are and, our aesthetic and direction and where we want to go with our design projects.
Yeah.
And the type of client that we want to attract as well. And then one thing led to another. It was like, well, if I'm going to spend, invest in this time and in, hiring professionals to do this for me, I might, want to trademark the name or see if I can legally. And so, yeah, long story short, I had to change the name. And so that was
someone else had that name?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was trademarked in another state. Okay. And then I also I saw another designer on Instagram with the same logo, same look.
Oh,
that appeared, I believe, last year. And so it was just, I didn't want to kind of be associated with different companies with the same name.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, of course, right? And so then I went through the whole process of like finding a name, which was brutal. I mean, it is hard to find a name that, my husband and I liked and something that was personal and that I could see grow and then, evolve. And so Velene Design House, that's what we ended up landing on. And I love it. I love it.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, you have to explain where Velene came from.
Yes. Yeah. So it was funny because I was working with one of the girls who was helping me create, the copy for our website. I really wanted it to be something that was, meaningful and that would connect with whoever was going onto my website and wanting to hire an interior designer. And so she came up with a few varieties, but one word stuck out to me and it was pretty close to my last name. And so then I thought, oh, I like the V and the Velene, or, maybe it was like Vela or something. And then I was kind of taking that and playing with different words. And so then we ended up with Velene, but then my husband was like, it seems a little feminine. Let's add the little dash, and it kind of made it Velene, a little bit more French, which my last name is French.
Yeah.
Salon Velene. And so that just, I don't know, the sound of it, I loved the look of it.
Great.
And thank you.
Yeah.
And so, yeah,
It's
it was just like that.
striking, you know, with the way that like the V is so powerful, you know?
I think it has a lot to do with like letters, right? Like
Yeah.
each letter has like such an impact. So I think V is a good one. And I could also see that if we did, you know, whatever we wanted to do, whether it would be product or even clothing,
Yeah.
that was a really nice name that I thought.
Ooh. Well,
Transitioning.
I am glad that you mentioned that because I know you've got a background in fashion. So when you're just like clothing, it just like,
Yeah.
yeah, it got to me. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about you. We talked a little bit about your company and we'll definitely get back to that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. How did you end up in the design world, the interior design world?
Well, it was in 2020. Like, I feel like many people,
Mhm.
we purchased our home and it was a full, you know, renovation, full gut. It
Yeah.
was scary.
Where was your home? Or where was it?
In Anaheim.
Okay. Awesome.
So we had plans and we're like, okay, let's do this. And then of course things changed. I ended up starting a business from it. But the whole thing was going through that process of the transformation of that house. It was brutal. I mean,
Yeah.
going into a remodel without any type of training or any knowledge is really, really hard. And so I think after that is when I realized, gosh, this was really hard. But I love my home now. I love the feeling that I get in my home,
That's
the
so
happiness
nice.
and joy, right? The peace. And I thought, you know, I would love to help someone else do this, to achieve the feeling that I have in my home and not, you know, finish the remodel and completely hate the choices that they made or just regret, you know, colors and just, you know, because it's expensive. It's an investment. So that kind of started to, you know, get things moving in my mind. And I decided, you know what, I want to do this.
Yeah.
I want to take the jump and transition out of, you know, apparel design.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about that. I guess we're kind of reverse engineering a little bit.
Yeah.
So you were in apparel and fashion and all of that.
Yes.
Was that kind of what you thought you were going to do one day?
Oh, yeah. I mean, since I was, I don't know, 15.
Yeah.
I loved fashion. I wanted to be a fashion model and
Yeah.
I didn't quite hit the height standard. I've always been an artist, so the next thing was I want to design clothing and really get into that. And so I did that for 10 years and across different brands. And it was fun. It's a bit it's tiring. You're constantly chasing the latest trends, you know, each collection that you're developing, and it's a lot of time and effort. And then that finishes, and then you're off to the next season, and it's just, I was getting burned out.
Okay.
And I knew it wasn't something I wanted to stay in forever.
Yeah.
So it was just trying to figure out what do I do, not even knowing it was going to be interior design at all. So it just happened to work out that way.
Isn't it funny how you can have this idea from, you know, a point in time that this is what you think you want, and then you achieve it, which is great, and then you're like, oh, but it's not really what I was expecting. Yeah.
Yep.
But 10 years is a long time to stick with it.
Oh, I was in it for a long time, and even towards the end, I was like, I'm gonna die doing this.
Well, that's pretty morbid.
But it's just like, what else could I do that I'm as passionate about?
Yeah.
And interior design, I was just talking to a friend of mine about this. It's just a much more meaningful, you know, job as designers to be able to bring in that value and that education and also that kind of peace to our clients. You know, it's truly such an amazing job. So I'm so happy.
Well, you lit up when you said that, like, your home remodel brought you so much joy and happiness in your house. I love seeing that. I love hearing that, because I think that a lot of times people don't necessarily have that. They have the house, they have the four walls to really make it feel like home.
Yeah.
You know, that's a skill. A lot of people don't have it. A lot of people don't know how to achieve it. And they dream that maybe one day they'll have it.
Yeah.
And you can buy the house. Don't like fill it with love. It's not going to just create it on its own, you know?
That's so true. And I go into many homes each week, and yeah, the outside looks gorgeous, but then you walk in and you're just like, what happened here? You know? So it's nice to be able to bring that, bring those solutions to them and really help them transform their home and, you know, make the inside look just as beautiful as the outside.
Yes. It's interesting too, because I was thinking this morning about how when I was before I got into real estate, I worked in TV production for a while.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, which is I love the studio.
Yeah.
This is so fun. But I was more behind the scenes, and I actually it's funny because I worked on a show for HGTV. It was called House Hunters. It's still on.
Yeah,
Have
I
you
know
seen
it. Yes, yes.
So I loved it. Like, and I loved the real estate aspect of it. Like, so I guess, here I am. But the thing that always got to me was that, it was great. It was something I wanted to do. I wanted to work in the production world. However, it always just seemed like when I was there, like everything seemed like life or death. Like, oh, like the cut's not ready in time or what, And yes, like that's important for that industry. However, I don't know, for me, it felt like more important to help people with their homes, like where they would live. And that's exactly what you're kind of conveying to happen for you.
Yes.
Like you liked and enjoyed doing the apparel, but was it life or death? Like you felt like you were going to die. So
Yeah.
I mean, people need clothes, don't get me wrong, but they also need a home, and they also, your life, your whole world is so much better when you're happy where you live. Like when you have a nice, calm environment where you feel like safe, protected, a sense of love and peace, it changes your whole world.
It does.
Yeah.
It affects your health, affects your life. I mean, the relationships you have with others. I mean, it just really is super impactful. And when you're sitting in an office being a designer and, having a nice cushioned, desk and you're just scrolling runways each day, it's different than when you're meeting a family and you're getting to learn about their lifestyles and you're getting to just kind of build that relationship with them. And even working with the trades is a great thing. I love working with my carpenters and contractors, and it's just much more like you're working towards a purpose with each project, and it's really fun to see it go from a render to the finished product.
There's a lot of depth to what you're saying and what you do, so I love that. And you got into it in 2021. I mean, I can only imagine that your remodel was probably one of the more difficult ones because it was a time when there were so many shutdowns and lack of people available to do stuff.
Yes.
You probably had to deal with like the city not being available and all sorts of fun stuff. You've probably kind of seen the worst of it, and now like you're able to really grow from the fruits of your labor, like literally.
Yeah, I mean, I have so many stories. I mean, purchasing the wrong door, taking it back to the store with nails in it. I mean, it was brutal. I mean, my husband and I, that was literally proof of like our marriage, It tested.
They do say that home remodels are one of the things that test the marriage.
For that.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, we made it through, but yeah, it was a lot of lessons learned. And I'm so glad that it was with my home, because I would hate to be learning anything on a client's job. So that was something that I took very serious.
Yeah.
I took courses, I met with designers, I learned as much as I could before I took my first project. And I started small, of course. Yeah. And then growing from there.
That's amazing. Well, it sounds like you've covered a lot of ground. I mean, it's been 4-5 years almost now, so that's exciting. And so does your husband work with you?
Not fully.
Okay.
But he's very involved in the decisions, like direction of the brand.
Awesome.
He's been such a huge help to me. I am a creative, like 100%. Like I am all creative.
Yeah. So, in your blood.
Yeah, it's in my blood. And well, now, being almost 4.5 years in, I've obviously learned how to be a business owner and the things I need to know and how to grow the business. And you're learning all the time, but he has a completely different mindset. He's, very business savvy. He's numbers, he's finances, he's everything that I'm not. And so we've kind of come together and build our processes and really build the business from the ground up because of how he is. Yeah. And then the design through me. So
it's a good complement to each other. And it's kind of just like the whole story of design, right? Like coming together. You've got the house, and then you have the design, and they blend together. Yeah. And you're the creative, and he's the business. I think it's so interesting, and I've talked to a lot of business owners on this podcast that we're each doing what we love. Like I love helping people with their real estate. You love helping people with design. I've had other people that love like feeding people certain food or whatever it is. But you're doing what you do, but that whole extra element of business is something you don't necessarily take into consideration. I mean, it takes a lot to run a business because you're wearing so many hats.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And like that was something that you learn. Like I came into this completely ignorant. Yeah. And the amount of time I spend in business on the business side of our business is like 85, maybe 90%, versus the time that I'm spending designing. I mean, it's design is easy. That's the easiest part.
Good. That's good that that's the easy part. Did you go to school for art then or for like fashion?
For fashion, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to school for TV production. I wish I had just gone for business. Like, honestly.
Yeah. Yes, me too. I thought about
We all should have just gone or gotten like at least you know, a bachelor's in business because anybody that's an entrepreneur essentially is running a business.
Yeah. You're a salesperson, you're a marketing person, you are a customer service rep,
HR.
you know how to grow your business strategically, how to use your you know, investments. So it is hard. So that would say that's probably been the hardest part of growing my business and in just being a business owner in general or a designer.
It's good that you and your husband have that balance though.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about your business. Okay. We are here to talk about that. But if there's anything else you want to throw in about yourself, I'd love to hear it. So, okay, so I love that you blend kind of like you keep the style, but then you incorporate elements of the modern. So that's really cool. Have there been any, like, what's your favorite project that you've worked on so far?
Surprisingly, it's our mid-century modern home that we're just finishing up. It's a beautiful style. It hasn't been my favorite until we did this project, and I feel like because we didn't go 100% into mid-century, it was like that transitional kind of balance. It just, I don't know. It's just the clean lines, the ability to have a space that, you know, allows you to breathe. Sometimes when you're working on design and you're adding all these elements of moldings and this and that, it can feel a little stuffy. Yeah. Of course, I love every style, to be honest. I can find the beauty in everything, but it just really, you know, impressed me, like how we can take mid-century and kind of, you know, have that nod to it, and also to the house. This house is a really meaningful home to our clients. It was their grandparents' home. Okay, cool. And they didn't really do much to it, and so we were able to kind of keep certain elements and refresh it, and then change other areas completely. But you still get that feel of where the home came from. Yeah. Does it have a flat roof? No, it doesn't have a flat roof. Okay. It's like a tri-level home. Oh, okay. But yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. California has a lot of mid-century modern. I do. Yeah. Which I think kind of you know, I was surprised when I moved to California. Thinking about it, I shouldn't have been so surprised, but I was surprised by all the Spanish style homes. I didn't realize how much there would be. And it's beautiful. Like there wasn't much of that where I grew up on the East Coast. So, yeah, where did you grow up? I grew up here. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, it's so beautiful. And then I remember when I moved to Los Angeles, just there's so many beautiful homes with just like the big windows and the panes of glass and like historical homes. Oh, they're beautiful. Yeah. And there's some beautiful areas even in Orange County that have the historical homes. Have you gotten to work on any of those? I have. Yeah. Like in Fullerton too, you have these like hidden areas that are really pretty. Yeah. You're almost like, where am I at? You feel like you're in LA in Mulholland Drive or something, you know? Yeah. How cool. So yeah, we've kind of had, you know, a good variety of clients from different areas. So that's been nice. Yeah. I just love the ability to work on different style homes. Yeah. Well, that's cool. Can you explain a little bit more about like what transitional style means? So like if anybody's thinking about doing a design, an interior design, why would they specifically come to you versus other, you know, designers? Yeah. Well, it's like if you have, you know, let's take a mid-century modern home, but you like some of the elements of that. Maybe it's the clean lines and the wood tones, but you're not really wanting to incorporate, you know, the pop colors that, you know, your typical the full or the shape, the retro shapes that mid-century brings. So it's like you're taking some elements of there, but you're incorporating in more of like, you know, elements from today, that kind of transitional feel of like this fixture could lean mid-century, but it also could lean a little contemporary. And so we're kind of mixing that design. So the client gets that kind of nod to mid-century, but they're not diving in 100%. And I feel like it just kind of gives the house that kind of, I would say, I don't know what the word is, but I guess that just newness, kind of like new design. It doesn't have to feel retro. You know? Mid-century nouveau. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like kind of like that nice bridge of styles, and we do that with, again, like Spanish style homes, French country. With French country, it's a little bit different because it's definitely a very strong design style, and so. But I have seen that done really nicely where, you know, you can have more of your clean lines incorporated in the style of cabinetry or even the marble that you're bringing in, light fixtures and things like that. Yeah, I think have you ever had
like, okay, so for example, there's a neighborhood in Santa Ana called Floral Park. You're probably familiar with it. So it's all the historical homes.
Yeah.
I know back in the day when I was doing another show called My House is Worth What? We brought in like a realtor who's actually, her name is Sandy DeAngelis. She's amazing. She's very big in that neighborhood. So shout out to Sandy. But that neighborhood, a lot of the buyers like really wanted to preserve the historical integrity. Is that something that would be an issue for you, or would people not even come to you if they really wanted to preserve the historical integrity, or could you work with that?
We actually did a home in Santa Ana.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was exactly in the area, but it was a Spanish style home, in that historical park. So there's definitely things that we have to take into account, especially if we want to keep it in, the same kind of style and just kind of bring it in to today's world.
Yeah, like the paint colors and stuff like that on the outside, I know, at least. Yeah.
Yeah. And so so it's just changing some of the elements that we, may not incorporate.
Got it.
Or have to tweak a few things here and there. For example, a lot of these homes don't have exhaust fans.
Oh yeah.
And so you're like, okay, you need to air that out so that you don't have that buildup of mold in the tiles, and you just have that nice like cleanliness in that bathroom. But we have to figure out, okay, how do we do this without it, affecting the roof or the visibility from the exterior side? So things like that, piping as well, but still, kind of bringing in that modern, or that, I guess, present day style.
Yeah.
It's, I guess bridging that gap of like the historical side, but in a new way, in a fresh way.
That makes complete sense. Thank you. I also wanted to ask you about the difference between somebody coming to you wanting a full remodel versus a refresh.
Yeah. Well, a full remodel is pretty much starting from scratch. You're basically taking, if you're doing a full home remodel, you're taking the kitchen, you're gutting it, the bathrooms, you're gutting those as well. You're replacing flooring, doors, everything, right?
Yeah.
And then you're starting new and probably even changing out some, walls and creating a slightly new floor plan. When you're doing a refresh, you're typically keeping majority of the items. Like let's say a kitchen, maybe you're painting the cabinets, you're replacing hardware, fixtures like lighting or plumbing.
So that would definitely be like your lower budget remodel.
Yeah. If you don't want to go and invest all of getting new cabinetry alone, there goes your budget. But the painting of just, doing that, or even resurfacing the cabinet doors and drawers. Yeah.
Yeah. So what are some of the trends that you think are most stylistically important for you right now with your, the modern tie-ins that you bring to the table?
We are seeing a lot more cooler tones coming back.
Okay.
And whereas like we were getting out of the grays and we went into the whites, and now we're kind of staying in that warm tones, whether it's like whites and browns and creams and beiges, like we're collaborating in that, in that design aesthetic. But now we're seeing, chrome coming in, and we're mixing chrome with brass or, cooler color tones done in a, an aesthetically pleasing way.
Yeah.
I'm also seeing a lot of wood tones going away from like the white oak or the beachy coastal feel, going more into the warmer tone, deeper like mid-colored hues, which is nice.
It's interesting how like the cycle keeps turning around, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, and also a big thing is we're actually seeing a lot of like the open floor plans. People are wanting to close things up a little bit more.
They're like, I don't need everybody to see my dirty dishes.
So we're seeing where it's like, no, I don't think I want to see, I don't want to have it. I want to have the kitchen closed off, which makes sense. You have that privacy, especially if you haven't cleaned your kitchen, or, the smells and if you're in there talking, you don't want to be able to like hear the TV, and it's a lot going on all in one area. So I'm seeing a lot of clients, steering away from that.
That's so interesting. Boy, I'll have to rethink my whole floor plan. No, that's really cool. Is there anything else that you want to share that's like very important or close to your heart for your company?
Well, let's see. I mean, there's so much. I think the importance of, I would say as a designer, the most important thing for me is building that trust with my clients. Yeah. And then the clients building that trust with their designer, because these projects are so long. They take, sometimes years. Yeah. And it's a big investment. You're really getting to know your clients on a deeper level. So for me, building that trust right off the bat is huge, because, you're going through the thick, the highs and the lows together. And, if you have that trust, you're able to get through those difficult moments. Yeah. and to achieve the design and have that smooth or, smoothest process that you can have in that project.
Yeah, I mean, you can't control everything,
Exactly.
obviously. There's a lot of things outside of your control. People
Yeah.
have heard all the stories. Do a lot of people find you from your portfolio? Do they see projects that you've done with other clients and then reach out?
I get a lot of referrals, Google
Yeah.
and Instagram.
Good. Yeah. Well, your Instagram caught my eye. So yeah, that's so cool.
That's like the bane of my existence. It's just, you know how it is. It's
That's
like
another part of your job.
yeah. The content and keeping it fresh and variety. It really is. I mean, I really like doing it because that's, like I said, I spend so much time in the business side.
Yeah.
And not so much in the creative because I have my assistant designer Jenny, who really is, she's like my right hand. I love her.
Oh, nice.
And she's super talented. And so we work together, but in the day-to-day of doing the design, she's leading that. So I get to be creative with, the marketing and content.
Well, you are creative, so that's like important that you get to do what, lights you up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's fun. It's fun to kind of create stories and blogs and talk about things. So that's kind of like what I've been doing. But yeah, it takes time to create, especially all the things that Instagram wants, the reels, the stories, the posts, the carousels. It's
so figure the algorithm. But I do think like you're fortunate, I'm fortunate too, that we work in industries where there's a lot of, visual appeal.
Yeah.
So you
true.
can show a lot, you can tell a lot of stories. And I feel like, wow, it would be a very different world if we didn't have Instagram. I mean, maybe you'd be more like on Pinterest. I'm not sure. But
yeah,
Instagram really does help a lot with a lot of our.
It really does. I feel like it kind of breaks that kind of wall down a little bit, and you can be as like real with your audience. And I need to be better at that. I know I do. It's just hard. It's like hard to grab the camera and just start talking. And so I like everything that I do, I want it to be intentional.
Yeah.
And meaningful. I don't want to just put crap. Sorry.
That's okay.
But yeah, so that's kind of been something that I'm like, trying to be more strategic and intentional to incorporate in my day-to-day.
It's just a time thing. I know. It takes a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, but your Instagram is great and your designs are great. I love how you're able to just blend styles together seamlessly.
Thank you.
It looks really good. And I'm sure that, the people that have the designs do feel happy and joyful in their homes afterward, which is exactly what you're setting out to do. And if anybody buys a home and needs it to feel more like a house that they feel happy with, then they could always turn to you. I keep telling people you really need to like consider the fixer-uppers because then you can make it your own.
Yeah.
Do it with like contractors that are vetted so you can make sure that you like approve of the work. Like you're paying for something that is done well. You're picking the style. Like you're not just being handed what someone else put together.
Yeah. And there's like this like, I don't know. I love the quirks that, fixer-uppers bring, like just like the things that are different than the house next door, it just makes it a little bit more unique to you.
Yes.
And then it's also like, what do you do with that quirk? How do you make it work for you? And you know what I mean? I've seen so many great designs by just, taking that time to think about how to create it and how to blend that into the rest of the house. It's just so much more. There's character, there's interest.
There's like this one neighborhood I know quite well that has homes that were built like 60 years ago, but they were tract homes. So many of them have this like weird niche that nobody really, they're like, oh, I don't know, it's wasted space. And I've seen so many creative things. Like basic is like, we'll put a closet there.
Mm-hmm.
Then I've seen other people do like a cute little desk area. Or I've seen people do like a little wine bar area. Yeah. I've seen people do like a cute little dog house. Like it's so fun because people live in the houses in different ways. And so I guess for you, you're kind of a little bit of a like psychologist in a way. Like how are you going to live in this space? How do you want to live in this space so that it will feel like home to you? Yeah,
that's a great word, psychologist, because that's how sometimes you have to be that person, especially when you're bringing together two different styles from the husband's side or the wife's side.
Yeah.
So,
well, that's a lot of fun to mitigate, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So where you want to let people know where they can find you and contact you?
Yes. So you can find me at velenedesign.com or on Instagram at Velene Design.
Awesome. Yes. Yes. You have to check out your brand new website and everything too. That's so exciting. Well, I mean, how cool that you've grown a business like this successfully in just a few years and you're just changing houses and making people happy and you're doing something that you truly love.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to have to, I'm sure you're going to be scaling more so soon because you can't be driving all over 3 counties, but
I know.
Yes, but congratulations on all you've done. And thank you for being on the pod.
Thank you so much for having me. This was fun. I loved it. I'm excited to come back.
Yeah. Yes, of course. You'll be back.